Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. In the last couple of weeks we got the new Fallout 76 update, which added in the ability for you to turn into a ghoul. Something that we've never seen before in any Fallout game, and it's something that a lot of people were really looking forward to and really wanting to test out. Now, since the update actually did come out, there's been a lot of kind of mixed opinions on it, and it hasn't really got the reaction which a lot of people thought it may have got, especially Bethesda. Me personally, as well as a few other creators who I spoke to, kind of felt like this may have been the case given the fact that the questline is so short and everything else that I'm going to discuss in the video. But yeah, it just doesn't really seem to have hit off. Like, even when you look at Steam charts to get a kind of gist of how many people's playing, it is a little bit biased because it is only PC players and we can't actually see how many people's playing on Xbox as well as PlayStation. But when you actually take a look at that, the actual average daily's gone up to about 12 to 13,000, some days ever so slightly higher, some days ever so slightly lower. When the update actually came out, it peaked at around 15,900 players, and considering before the update on the busiest day it would be about 10,000, so it has gone up like nearly 50%, but even so it doesn't seem too crazy given the fact when the TV show came out there was 30,000 people playing the game on average. It actually peaked at the time of the TV show to a maximum of 72,000 people playing the game, and quite clearly nowhere near that has come back with this update. Which is a real big shame given the fact they really try to use that ghoul idea from the TV show to kind of push the kind of interaction with it and stuff, but yeah, never mind. Now, moving into the main part of the actual video itself and why I think this is not done as well as it potentially could have, these are the 5 reasons which I've come up with. And number 1, I've put it down to the sheer fact that not a single NPC pretty much interacts with you or even cares that you've turned into a ghoul. If you have already converted over or watched anyone converted over, you'll notice that when they're walking around the map, literally no one really cares or pays attention to the fact that you've now turned into a ghoul. And I just felt like this was a really lazy side of things, that the fact that like no one even just goes, oh my god, a ghoul or anything like that. Like, it just seems really off that they didn't even consider adding anything in. Well, they probably did consider it, but they didn't do it, which is really strange in my opinion. Now, linking in with this point, it is one which really kind of baffled me and baffled the majority of the fan base by the look of it from the comments I've seen dotted around everywhere, and this one is the simple fact that ghouls still attack you. Now, I can understand if you're not very, if your feral meter is completely low and you're going around and you're basically a fresh ghoul, let's call it, and you're wandering around and a feral ghoul is there. Yeah, fair enough, that feral ghoul is most likely going to attack you. In their name, it's in their nature, they are feral. However, if you do have your feral meter full, therefore you are feral yourself, technically that ghoul shouldn't attack you. You see waves of feral ghouls, they don't attack each other, so why do they single out you and attack you? This is something which I've seen a lot of comments on. People complain that this is just kind of a bit weird, another lazy kind of tactic where they just haven't touched it in any way. There's been a few arguments that I've seen where people have said this is due to like law issues, where they didn't want to break any law kind of issues with any of the storylines or any kind of in-game mechanics, but then why would you add this in if you're thinking it's just going to destroy the law? I just don't get it. Is it just like something where they're trying to make money off the TV show? I really don't know. It's something that I've always wanted this type of update in the game ever since Fallout 3 when I used to play as like a young teenager or however old I was. Me and my mate used to sit there because we also played the Elder Scroll games and we would talk to each other and we'd be like, why can't you be a super mutant? Why can't you be a ghoul? Yet in the Elder Scroll games you could be like any race that you wanted. It just doesn't really add up, does it? And my next point is one which I know everyone seems very frustrated with, and this one has to be the disguise system. Basically, in the game, if you turn into a ghoul, you're no longer going to be able to have access to go into kind of instance locations at Fort Atlas, Crater, or Foundation, as well as maybe a couple others, but that's the 3 off the top of my head. It actually blocks you out from doing some dailies and some quests because they don't really want to interact with a ghoul, which does not make complete sense given the fact in some of these locations there is ghouls. Think of the raiders, they have ghouls, so why can't you enter the instance location as a ghoul? Again, this is something where people are saying that apparently this is due to law issues. If you go in there and all of a sudden you're a ghoul, they're going to be like, what the hell, what's happened, blah blah blah, and it's going to really throw some certain things off in the game. Now, the actual disguise system itself allows you to go into these locations but it is operated really, really, really badly. Alright, so basically a disguise in this game is literally put a sack over your head. And unfortunately, you're unable to do this yourself because clearly you're just not able to, because, yeah, who can't put a bloody sack over their own head? I don't know. But anyways, basically what you've got to do is you go over to Radiant Hills, where you have to go inside and speak to, I can't remember how you pronounce her name, but you speak to her and she puts a disguise on for you, and then you have to go back to where you were originally. Now this is just absolute rubbish, and what is the actual point in fast traveling to instance location, going inside, go and speak to someone, changing your outfit, when you could just put the outfit on yourself? It's literally just a hat. Now this is another thing that just really baffled me and annoyed me with this update. There's so many daft little flaws which to me just seem lazy and just poorly planned out, but I don't know, that's just me. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments. Now at number 4, my complaint about this update has got to be the actual questline itself. Now I really thought with the whole idea of getting added in as a ghoul, it would have added in some really cool questline. Maybe it would have actually like explained some of these bits in terms of the laws, which they're saying that the law has so many issues with you being a ghoul. Why would you not add in something that kind of counteracts that in a certain way and just kind of makes it all make sense and adds that quest line to add that ability? I don't know why it doesn't make that much sense. You're out there in a bloody nuclear wasteland, why can't you become a ghoul? I don't know. But back to the point, this new quest line is so short. Like, you can do it in 20 minutes realistically. Like, waiting 4 months for a 20-minute quest is just not ideal in my opinion. And then to kind of just like make it even worse, there is places in the map now that's been added linking with this update which has nothing to do with this new quest line, and you don't even go to it in the quest line. Locations such as the new Point Repos, which is a really cool, interesting kind of very law driven location in a sense. So like as we're saying, like it's missing a lot of the depth in the story, I would say. This actual location which has no link kind of in the questline itself, like you don't actually do anything in the main questline with this location, you can actually go here and find out that it's a location where basically all the people have turned into ghouls, if they're starting to go feral and lose their mind, they go here and lock themselves in, that way they don't hurt anyone. And it's a really cool kind of play on your heartstrings kind of, you know what, these ghouls were actually people once, blah blah blah, and it's like, it's actually really interesting to read through the notes and stuff. So somewhere I would really advise you to go and check out. But yeah, I just don't understand why they made the questline so short. They couldn't have just thrown something in with this to actually make it something a bit more viable, rather than having like a 2018 Fallout 76 theme where you just have to find it and read some notes, you know what I mean? Now finally at number 5, one of my biggest pet hates, which I'm seeing more and more over the years in this game. I slightly understand it, but at the same time it's just muggy in my opinion. And this has to be the fact that you have to pay if you want to turn back into a ghoul. So basically you've got a one-way ticket in this game. You can turn into a ghoul, then you can turn back into a human if you don't like it. However, if you then want to turn back into a ghoul again because you change your mind again, you can do this, but it comes at a price and it's around $10 to do so. Now this is not the only thing that they're adding money on. You've got this that they've added a kind of fee on top of. You can also buy 50 levels now if you really want to. Like, how many things are they going to just throw in for money? I understand it's pretty much a free-to-play game at this point and we get the updates for free, but I'm not being funny. How many people are signed up to Fallout first, right? How many people buy atoms? There's a lot of money going through this, there's got to be. And I'm not being funny, the consistency of the updates that they bring out, like, it can't be costing too much to be running this game. Other games are getting like updates every other week and stuff like that, and this game's like once every 4 months. You add a season, they can't even put a timer on a season because they never know when the next update's going to come out. We still have bugs from day one that they've never even fixed, so like, what is going on with that? Like, you can't be charging everything for these premium prices when you can't even fix your own game. Like, it just does my head in. Anyways, that's just 5 of the reasons why I think this update hasn't gone down quite as well as it potentially could have. Don't get me wrong, the game is doing a lot better than it has done in the past. The game plays a lot better than it has done in the past. But for me, for a long-term player that's played this game for 7 years now, I don't know, I just don't have the drive to play that much at the moment. Like, I jump on and do my dailies, but after that I'm just like, I've done everything in the game that there is. I don't know, let me know what you think down in the comments. But for now, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.